Alright battlers, welcome back to a brand new Go Battle League video. Melmetal is one of the clutchest Pokemon that I've ever used in the Go Battle League. It is the lead on my team and it's been great for me. These are some of my best Season 1 Go Battle League fights featuring Melmetal. This is the team that took me from 2,500 all the way up to over 2,800, that Melmetal in the lead with Toxicroak and Meganium. Here we see a Melmetal into Melmetal lead, so this one's really tricky. You don't want to get hit by Superpower, that's obvious, so I'm actually going to shield up this first one. I actually like to work up to a double charge attack. I think it's 10 Thundershocks total, fire off the Rock Slide to bluff, and then go for the Superpower. That way you get the shield and you either get the second shield or you take a huge chunk out of Melmetal. My opponent actually makes an option C. They make a beautiful swap into Stunfisk, and I actually make a big mistake there myself by switching into Toxicroak. So I do have Meganium on my team. That is obviously the right answer here against Stunfisk. Nothing it has can hit Meganium for super effective, but luckily my opponent's going to use their charge energy here. I'm going to allow it and let Toxicroak go down. My opponent doesn't have any shields. I know two of their Pokemon so far, Melmetal and Stunfisk, both super weak to Meganium, so I'm going to go ahead and bring it in here. I am a little bit worried about a flyer in the back, but we'll just have to see what happens. So going to go ahead and farm down Stunfisk there. Got a ton of energy, enough for Earthquake or Frenzy Plant if we want to. I saw that steel icon come up in the top right corner of the screen, so I go ahead and throw the Earthquake, but my opponent makes a beautiful swap into Meganium. I'm a huge fan of this trainer's swaps. U-Haul, if you're watching this, leave me a comment down below. This was just incredible swapping. I actually swap here to catch a Frenzy Plant with my Melmetal. Gonna charge up to the Rock Slide here, and here comes Melmetal, so clutch. I'm going to charge up another attack here, but my opponent gets to a charge move. I'm actually going to shield up Melmetal from the Thunderbolt and then go ahead here for the Superpower. I think this will be enough to KO, and it is. Going into this second game here against Cork Daddy, we are actually in a Flohio remote lobby together. Really outstanding trainer. He leads with Galvantula, so I really love the spice here. Melmetal's rock attacks are going to do really well here against Galvantula, but we always have to be careful. Galvantula's attack stat is sky high and it hits so hard. Going to go ahead and swap my Meganium into Defense Deoxys. So I've seen a lot of Deoxys. I think it was popularized in a big way during Voyager Cup as a safe swap. I think Tho Technical used it pretty effectively. I mean, he's an awesome trainer, so there's something to that for sure. This Deoxys is going to throw another Rock Slide at us, and I want to win this switched in matchup, so I'm actually going to shield there and farm down. Very gutsy there, but we pulled it off somehow. So my opponent does come back in with their Galvantula. I'm going to go for Earthquake. Probably could have just Frenzy Planted there, but we do get KO'd by the Volt Switch, so either way, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. Going to go ahead and bring in Melmetal here. My opponent swaps again into a Azumarill. Shields are down, so I know I can survive one Ice Beam. I just need to get off this Sludge Bomb. Gonna go ahead and shield here with Toxicroak, work up a few extra counters, and I don't think I can stretch Toxicroak far enough to get to the Mud Bomb, but we're gonna try our best. And we actually were able to do it. So we're going to Mud Bomb down this Azumarill. Galvantula has just been gathering energy this whole time, and this spider is going to pounce on the prey. Toxicroak is going to take that Bug Buzz like a champ, but then get farmed down. Very dangerous territory. CMP tie. Galvantula wins it. Discharge is not enough. Melmetal coming in so clutch with the Rock Slide, and that's enough to win it. Going to this game against Majin Sage, another name I recognize, he is going to lead with the Registeel. So again, 10 Thundershocks, a Rock Slide, and then a Superpower is how I like to play this one. Hopefully I can bait out my opponent's first shield. I don't have any problem giving up my first shield, but my opponent does make a beautiful swap though. My opponents are really just throwing me off in these games. Here comes Haunter, actually going to throw that Rock Slide and then get this Melmetal out of there because its defense was just debuffed. Going to go ahead and bring in Meganium, and I'll tell you what, battlers, my team is so weak to Haunter. My opponent throws Shadow Punch, but if they would have thrown Shadow Ball, it would have been over. I'm not going to shield anything from Haunter because I actually need to really put as much pressure on it as possible, and if it just goes straight Shadow Ball, there's just no way. Nothing I have can beat it to the punch. So that Registeel brings down our Meganium. Gonna go ahead and bring in Toxicroak here. I think it surprises my opponents a lot of the time that I bring in a Toxicroak after they've seen the Melmetal. Melmetal is a great generalist. It's good against the flying types, and it's good as a fighter as well. Gonna swap here to catch this Ice Beam from Azumarill. Now, what I really need to do is Rock Slide this Azumarill to KO it, hopefully, and then try to Superpower that Registeel to get its final shield. So with Melmetal, I love it in the lead because you have to, you're able to swap it out and clear the debuff from the Superpower. So Registeel is going to fire off a charge move here. This is perfect for us. We still have a shield. Very, very comfortable here. Bringing in Toxicroak. Going to go straight for our Mud Bomb that we charged up earlier, and that is GG's. Taking a look at our next opponent, Nick Oof 10, so I think that's how you say it. So here we go, Melmetal into Skarmory. A lot of trainers love to lead with their flying types, and Melmetal is great for capturing those with the Rock Slide. My opponent does swap into Whiscash, and I bring out Meganium. So this is looking really good for us so far. Gonna keep my opponent honest by throwing the Frenzy Plant, but they do decide to shield. That tells me the Blizzard is coming. I'm definitely going to shield up my Meganium from the Blizzard because it would one-shot. It's a really precarious situation, Meganium, or when Meganium goes up against Whiscash or Swampert, because that Blizzard or Sludge Wave can come at any moment. Don't want to lose switch priority here, so I'm going to shield up Meganium one more time, even if that means getting farmed down by Skarmory. Now, the objective here is to keep my eye on the switch timer and try to work down this Skarmory as quickly as possible. We are able to swap. I'm actually going to go for the Earthquake here, and I know my opponent is farming, so I'm going to make a fast swap into Melmetal, and we are going to crunch this Skarmory with the Rock Slide before my opponent even knows what's happening. So there's Skarmory's out of the picture. In comes Venusaur. I'm sitting pretty. Gonna go ahead and fire off another Rock Slide here and then go for one more, but I realize even the Frenzy Plant here won't KO Melmetal. So we work up to another Rock Slide, and I think I can feint with the Thunder Shocks, but we'll have to see. And we're able to pull it off. Going into this next game against Takashi ZY. GG's to every trainer I face. I always have a fun time against trainers in the Go Battle League. The competition is so stacked. Here we go, Registeel. You know the play. We're going to work up 10 Thunder Shocks. Going to throw that Rock Slide and then the Superpower. My opponent does go for the Focus Blast, which easily would have one-shotted us. Going to go here for our Rock Slide. And this does get shielded just like we predicted. Going to go for the Superpower in rapid succession. My opponent does not shield that. I swap into Toxicroak, and that Registeel is very weak, but out comes Altaria. So I did force my opponent's Flyer out, which is great. I'm actually going to line up this Altaria with the Melmetal, and since that Sludge Bomb landed, only one Rock Slide is all that's needed to take it down. Sky-type brings down Toxicroak just like we planned. Gonna wait down the switch timer just a little bit to give myself a little more flexibility. Gain some extra energy here because that Dragon Breath is resisted by the Steel typing. Sky Attack also resisted. Then I'm gonna go ahead and throw this Rock Slide. So I'm definitely over 10 Thunder Shocks, I believe. We are in good shape. As soon as that Azumarill comes in, I'm actually gonna throw our Rock Slide here. And then attempt to go for another one. Now, I do have that Meganium in the back, and it does have access to Earthquake. Registeel is actually within Frenzy Plant range, so I'm very comfortable here. It's really a question here of whether or not I want to eat the Ice Beam or I want to eat the Flash Cannon. I think Ice Beam in general maybe does a little more damage. Maybe it's a very marginal difference, but we're able to force that final shield away from the Registeel. He's going to hit us with the Focus Blast this time, excuse me, not Flash Cannon. We're going to try to get to that next Frenzy Plant, and we are just barely able to do it. Now, if Azumarill farms down Meganium, we are in big trouble. It attempts to, and we CMP tie. Ice Beam is going to get off. It's all up to Melmetal. These bubbles will be super effective. We come in here and just barely get to the Rock Slide, and that will be enough to wrap up this game. I've had so much fun with Melmetal. This is a great league, rank 17, so pretty good. Not very high attack stat, a bunch of defense and stamina, and it's done so well for me. Here comes another Flyer. So again, that flying type lead is something we see a lot in the Go Battle League. And here comes Hypno. So gonna go ahead and switch here into my Meganium. I know the tendency of a lot of trainers with their Hypno is to run Ice Punch and Thunder Punch. A lot of people are doing double Elemental these days, but when I see a Shadow Hypno, I think it's almost guaranteed that they have double Elemental punches. I really want to win this switched in matchup, so I'm going to invest that shield, throw the Frenzy Plant, and as you saw, this Hypno does have access to Fire Punch. I believe I can get to one more Frenzy Plant here, but I'm not sure if it will KO. We're barely able to get there. Let's see what it does. That does KO that Shadow Hypno. We are able to maintain switch priority. I am fine with Altaria farming down our Meganium. In comes that Melmetal into Altaria. No shields, no problem. I just can't afford to fire the Rock Slide on anything besides Altaria, so we make this swap here into Toxicroak to catch this Lantern. Now, Thunderbolt will not KO the Toxicroak, but Hydro Pump absolutely will. I need to get this Lantern weak enough to drop Rock Slides on it and hopefully KO it with my Melmetal. Gonna farm up a little extra energy because Spark is also not gonna do a whole lot of damage. Throw this first Rock Slide to KO the Lantern, and the second that this Altaria comes back out, gonna drop another Rock Slide. I need one more to bring down this Altaria, and we are just able to get there. Melmetal again pulling through, really, really big for this team. Our next opponent is a rank 10 battler going into that Registeel lead. Now, I don't know if this opponent actually takes the Rock Slide bait. Let's wait and see. Definitely going to shit up this first attack, but my opponent does trick me by firing the Flash Cannon. It does save you a marginal amount of energy, but it's not a lot. My opponent does shield up that Rock Slide, so I think we've done it 3 times in this video. We're 3 of 3. In some other battles that I've done, it hasn't worked, but my opponent does shield up that Superpower. So we are both encountering some lag. Gonna go ahead and throw another Superpower to try to weaken the Registeel, and then swap here into Toxicroak. I am hoping to catch a Focus Blast, and it is. Toxicroak is going to resist that due to its poison typing. Going to throw a Sludge Bomb here on Altaria, and you know that we just need one Rock Slide after the Sludge Bomb is landed to bring down Altaria. Going to come back in here with the Registeel, very full health despite the lengthy skirmish that we had with that with the Registeel, because its lock-ons just do hardly any damage, and we spent our shields. Going to go ahead and fire that off, take down Altaria. My opponent thinks things over. Again, checking those icons at the top right, they bring out Wigglytuff. So Wigglytuff, tough to deal with, no pun intended, but our Rock Slides are going to do really well. In comes Registeel, and we're going to slam this Registeel with our Superpower. Going to swap into Meganium here. I don't think my opponent could have gotten to the Ice Beam, but they leave the game regardless. My final opponent is Alfindeol, a fellow Pokemon Go PvP content creator. I will leave a link to his YouTube and his Twitch channel down in the description below. Go ahead and check him out. Here we go with our Melmetal into Meganium. I try to catch Earthquake with my own Meganium, but he holds his energy and unleashes the Frenzy Plant. Even though that's resisted, it does a good chunk of damage. I'm going to return the favor though, and he does not shield. Gonna go ahead and swap out here into Jirachi. So Alfindeol talks about Jirachi a lot. It doesn't sim well on PvPoke in flat matchups, but when you get that thing an energy advantage, it can be really devastating. Doom Desire is just such a wonderful steel type move, and Jirachi is the only Pokemon with access to it. I come in here with my Melmetal, and I don't throw Superpower because that Psychic will resist the fighting type attack, and I don't want to lower my stats in the middle of the battle. So gonna go ahead here and push for another Rock Slide, but that energy gain is really making his presence known. Firing off another Doom Desire. Gonna go ahead and drop my Rock Slide here, and as you know, I can't afford to have my Toxicroak line up with Jirachi. Not a good situation, so he drops another Doom Desire, and he swaps out into Meganium. Gonna swap into my Toxicroak here, try to get some energy together. I know we can survive at least one Frenzy Plant. He's gonna fire off a second one though, so this is really, really tight. Gonna survive that as well. Out comes his Jirachi, and we counter it down before Confusion can count. Out comes his own Melmetal. This is so nuts. Gonna go ahead and fire off a Mud Bomb here. It does get shielded. He farms us down. All he needs is Superpower, and he is one Thundershock ahead. GG's Alfindeol. Such a wonderful game and an awesome battle. Battlers, thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of Melmetal, if you've enjoyed it in the Go Battle League, or if it wasn't on your radar until now. I'd like to hear either way. Leave me a like if you enjoyed it and you watched till the end, and then if you really like it and you want to see more content from me, subscribe, and I have more videos on the way.